So here are 10 prophecies that will fulfill in 2023. Who was Nostradamus, and what are his prophecies? Before going into the details of the prophecies given by Nostradamus, let's find out who he was. Nostradamus was born in 1503 in France, gained recognition for his expertise in herbal remedies that were commonly used to combat viruses and plagues during the 1500s. During that era, folk traditions and religious beliefs greatly influenced society, contributing to the widespread popularity of his practices. However, in today's world, Nostradamus' fame does not stem from his knowledge of natural remedies and medicine. Instead, it's primarily associated with his book, Les Prophéties, or The Prophecies, published around 1555. This collection of poems is believed to foretell significant global events that will unfold over the span of 2,000 years. What did he reveal in this book? You're about to find out! But before we move any further, make sure you give this video a huge thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell to get more video updates like this. Now let's continue. Prophecies is a book that's structured into 10 sections, each containing 100 quatrains, which are 4-line verses. It's believed that these verses cryptically hint at events anticipated to occur annually for a duration of 2,000 years. Nostradamus' followers have attributed to him the ability to foresee numerous significant global occurrences throughout history. These include the French Revolution in 1789, the invention and utilization of nuclear weapons and atomic bombs, and even the tragic events of the September 11 terror attacks. In Nostradamus' own words, 2 steel birds will fall from the sky on the metropolis. The sky will burn at 45 degrees latitude. Fire approaches the great new city. Immediately, a huge scattered flame leaps up. How would I know if he actually wrote that? I think it's kind of a stretch to say he predicted 9/11, said Walter McLean of the Upper East Side. His words could mean a lot of things. I think everyone will infer whatever they want. Many believers quickly made associations between the verses and the events of September 11th, perceiving the planes crashing into the World Trade Center as the representation of the steel birds. They also noticed the geographical location of New York City, approximately at a latitude of 45 degrees. However, the ambiguous nature of the verses leaves enough room for imagination and personal interpretation. The inherent vagueness of Nostradamus' prophecies, combined with the absence of precise dates for each prediction, allows enough space for believers to draw connections and find patterns in the aftermath of significant events. This provides fertile ground for the creation of viral posts and videos on the internet. Furthermore, since the original verses were penned several centuries ago, and in a different language, much could have been lost in translation and gained new interpretations due to evolving social changes. What did Nostradamus write about 2023? Sadly, for those who believe in Nostradamus and his predictions, the outlook for 2023 appears not so pleasant. According to enthusiasts, the original lines from his prophecy that relate to this year are from the celestial fire on the royal edifice, when the light of Mars will go out, 7 months great war, people dead through evil, ruin Evro, the king will not fail. World War III. Certain interpretations have linked the line 7 months great war, people dead through evil, to a potential sign of an intensification in the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. According to believers, Nostradamus could have foreseen a scenario of a 7-month duration, possibly referring to the Third World War, which would inevitably lead to significant loss of life. Nevertheless, there exists disagreement and controversy surrounding the interpretation of this particular line, primarily because the ongoing war has already extended beyond the predicted duration of 7 months and is now approaching the 1-year milestone. Mission to Mars. While NASA's projected timeline for reaching Mars extends into the late 2030s or early 2040s, there are other organizations that have already declared their intentions to launch missions to the Red Planet. One such group is Mars One, a Dutch company that made headlines in 2013 by publicly announcing its mission to establish a permanent human colony on Mars. However, despite the initial enthusiasm, the company faced financial difficulties and ultimately filed for bankruptcy in 2019, failing to progress toward its goal. In July 2022, 2 California-based companies, Relativity Space and Impulse Space, made a joint announcement stating their plans to conduct a mission to Mars in 2024. This intended timeline placed them several years ahead of Elon Musk's SpaceX, which had scheduled its first spaceship launch for the Mars and Beyond mission at a later date. However, regardless of who takes the lead, followers of Nostradamus believe that this prophecy regarding the Mars trip foretells misfortune. According to their interpretation, the prediction suggests the possibility of explosions, potentially stemming from aircraft crashes. dry lands and floods. Nostradamus' words suggest that the Earth could potentially experience another climate-related catastrophe in 2023. According to his prophecy, he wrote, "The dry land will dry up even more, and there will be great floods when you see the rainbow." Considering the ongoing escalation of climate change, this prediction does not appear far-fetched for the upcoming year. As environmental conditions worsen, the likelihood of such events occurring increases. Riots in the street. Within his book, Nostradamus included the following statement: "Sooner or later, you will see great changes made, horrors and terrible revenges." This prophecy suggests the likelihood of increased social unrest and civil uprisings in the forthcoming months. The astrologer further wrote about trumpets shaking in great controversy, and an agreement that has been broken, which once again hints at the possibility of rebellion or revolution occurring somewhere on Earth in 2023. Speculations have emerged, connecting this prophecy to the riots in Iran that erupted following the death of Mahsa Amini. These speculations suggest that the unrest in Iran is anticipated to continue and potentially intensify, aligning with Nostradamus' predictions. The failing economy will turn humans into cannibals. According to Nostradamus, one of his predictions alludes to the possibility of humanity facing cannibalism as a consequence of economic collapse. His words state, "There are no abbots, monks, no novices to teach. Honey will cost much more than candle wax. The price of wheat will be high. Man will be agitated and eat his friend in despair." These lines appear to suggest that the cost of essential goods and living expenses will continue to escalate in 2023. However, it is hoped by many that the mention of cannibalism is purely metaphorical and symbolic, rather than a literal interpretation. Death of Queen Elizabeth. The passing of Queen Elizabeth II in September 2022 is the most recent global event that some individuals have associated with Nostradamus' book. In the aftermath of her death, the book gained massive sales figures, leading to speculations of a connection to the following prediction. Because they disapproved of his divorce, a man who later then considered unworthy, the people will force out the king of the islands. A man will replace him who never expected to be king. There are those who interpret the passage as a reference to King Charles III and his divorce from Princess Diana. Based on this interpretation, they believe that the prediction suggests that the king will abdicate in the upcoming year. Furthermore, they assert that the prophecy indicates Prince Harry will assume the throne instead of the heir apparent, Prince William, due to the mention of a man who never expected to be king. Buckingham Palace fire. Metaphorically speaking, one could argue that the British royal family has been subject to continuous challenges in recent times, starting from the turbulent reception of Meghan Markle's entry into the family through marriage, to the passing of the long-reigning Queen Elizabeth II, and to the controversial memoir authored by Prince Harry. It's safe to say that the royal family has endured considerable unwanted attention. Additional turmoil, this time of a cosmic nature, might be on the horizon. Some enthusiasts have suggested various interpretations of the prophecy, ranging from a meteor striking Buckingham Palace to a fire breaking out at one of the royal residences. People living in Rouen, a city in France, might feel a sense of unease as their city is directly referenced in one of Nostradamus' quatrains. However, the true significance of the line, "King will not fail," is yet to be determined. Interpretations of these predictions heavily rely on personal understanding, but the way these theories are getting viral on the internet indicates that interest in Nostradamus prophecies continues. That's it for today. What do you guys think? Tell us in the comments.